Yes. Good start. Great start. Cha-ching. Cha-ching. Do people even know what that sound effect means anymore? Cha-ching. It's the sound of a cash register. Cha-ching. Cha-ching. I don't think that's universally acknowledged sound effect anymore. Cha-ching. Nobody knows what that is or means or... yeah, it's my sporadically broadcasting live stream time. I have to do it twice a week. I mean, I've got gigs tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So I'm trying to do this now. It's Poetry Festival week, everybody. Saturday, I'll be on White Horse Stage hosting all day, 11 to 6. Or is it 7? I'm not sure. I think it's 6. And Sunday, I'm reading at 4. So come on out to the New York Poetry Festival. It's a great time. It's, probably the best week of the year in some ways. Or, it's one of those things that makes it fun, and it's the high point of the summer, kind of, in a way. They're nice enough to just let anybody who wants to participate. And so it's a nice staycation weekend for all of the loser poets who don't get it. It's AWP for open mic. It's the AWP of open mics. I should probably write that down. Like, that can go on my stage patter. The AWP of open mics. I'm the Bob Hope of poetry open mic hosts. I mean, I've hosted a stage there literally every year, I think, since 23. And it doesn't make much of a difference. There's a trickling of people that sort of come throughout the day. It's not really like... I'm not in prime time or anything. Obviously, I've got my weirdo. Well, who knows? Who the fuck knows? We're kind of in like this weird corner. I looked at the map. There's like the entrance, and then there's the White Horse Stage, and then literally everything else is like that way. So we'll be maybe the first thing people see when they come in. I think we can make a fun time out of it. I think that's the synergy that's starting to happen with these shows and getting out and doing other shows and stuff is starting to actually kind of grow. Doing the interdisciplinary stuff kind of helps. Doing clown, hosting, doing music, doing poetry, they all kind of affect each other in different ways. And, the clown helps with the hosting thing. The poetry helps with the clown. The music, the poetry, I think to some degree our goal should be on stage to like say things that are surprising even to us. Say insightful things. Risk going for that rather than just doing some kind of rehearsed jokes or get super scared. I think people are so not used to public speaking, not used to being in front of people, that you get nervous. You need to cling to your paper, your thing that you rehearsed. That's what the audience wants, supposedly. They want something that like you actually rehearsed and blah, blah, blah. Produced and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Is it? Okay. So I had a little bit of a breakthrough on Monday because I've been lucky. I feel like I should have figured this out 3 years ago. I can't believe I'm just now figuring this out. But that's life, I guess. It's just like it does take years and years to have like these little breakthroughs. But so late nights on Monday, we've been kind of finishing early-ish, and my partner, the bartender, is nice enough to allow me, because, typically at the end of the night, I've just been kind of throwing it away, not really using it at all. I'll do like karaoke maybe, or like maybe I'll read a little poem, or it's been a while since people really gave a shit. Most people leave. There was, the first year or two couple years, people would stay at the end, and I'd get to do a little piece. I'd get to do like some kind of spontaneous piano thing or something. But recently, for whatever reason, I don't know, people are just going home earlier. I don't know if that's a recession indicator. People party on the other nights of the week, like Monday is not anybody's late night rager. People got responsibilities, and so it's, especially recently, people are not really staying till 1 a.m. as much. And so it just felt like, okay, I've been going up and doing karaoke songs and shit. Sounding fucking horrible. But I just decided, you know what, I don't even know how it happened. Just over the last few weeks, kind of organically, I've started to do kind of like the live streams. Basically, I do this live. And the idea is the bartender can do all of his closing stuff while that's happening. So I can just sort of riff for however long, 20 minutes. And people can stay and listen if they want to, but it's also like, we're trying to get the fuck out of there. It's a last call type situation. Or, if people wanted to stay and buy more drinks and fucking have a good time, we would be open to that. But typically, the end of the night, it's kind of a late night for comedians that, they're not necessarily contributing hugely to our bottom line. Not that that's the most important thing. And, whatever audience kind of comes in, they get scared off by the comedians, or, if we're lucky, it turns into like a karaoke party kind of thing. That has happened from, a few times from time to time. And so, it's kind of a way to it gives me a chance to sort of woodshed a little bit. And it's the kind of thing that if people don't want to listen to it, they'll leave. But he can do his closing stuff while I'm doing it. He can blow the candles out, collect all the whatever glassware, add up all the fucking calculations and shit like that. And I can just sort of do this and explore a different way of performance. It's not stand-up comedy. It's not clown. It's not it's like this, but it's more physical. And so Monday, there was actually probably about, 10 people at the end. There was a couple groups of people. There was this woman who went up and read, I forget what her name was, and she read this really intense, cool poem about spiders. She was like this kind of like Tim Burton, goth-ish type. I don't know if she was really goth, but I don't want to assign any label on anybody. And then there was another group of people that were kind of watching the comedy, kind of not. And I'm thinking to myself, oh shit, I'm going to get up and do my live streaming, and these people are all going to leave immediately. As soon as I start to do this, they're just going to be like, this sucks. I don't want to see this guy just fucking riffing or pulling shit out of his ass or ranting or, let's get the fuck out of here. That's what I expected, but that's also sort of partially the intention. The intention is sort of look, it's the end of the night. It's sort of a long jam sesh. It's just like me with a horn playing by myself, and for the night people, if they want to stay, if they want to finish their drinks or whatever, but if not, it's like Nighthawks. And to my surprise on Monday, these people loved it. They were so into it, it was fucking crazy. They stayed, I think I did 20 minutes. And I don't even, because I didn't have anything fucking planned. I talked about Wes Anderson. We talked about Wes Anderson and fucking Bill Murray shit, and I was just trying to grab at anything, and it was pretty interesting. It was pretty entertaining, but these people came up to me afterwards, and they were like, they were like pretty complimentary. They were like, you should do that at 10 o'clock because it was the best part of the whole night. And, people would stay and watch that, whereas opposed to, it is an open mic. It's not necessarily everybody's trying to fucking go in and crush or anything. Not always. Sometimes they're just working on their material or whatever. Should I change my shirt? Do I look like this is part of the revolution, okay? This is part of the anti-aesthetics of the aesthetic. The aesthetics is poverty aesthetics. Yeah, so these people came up to me afterwards and they were just like super complimentary. This woman's like, you're a star. She was like really into it. They were like, we could have watched more. It was basically what I did on fucking 4th of July, except no poetry. I didn't read any poetry. I just kind of did stream of consciousness about Bill Murray and tarot cards. So, it was sort of a confidence boost, and like it felt like, okay, like now there's actually something happening at the end of the night. It isn't just like this dead zone where like people want to go home and there's nothing exciting. I get up and do some fucking karaoke songs that I sort of pick at the last second. That can be very hit or miss. It's always a hit for me. I feel like Wayne Newton up there. But this is the thing that I've wanted to develop for a long time. To be honest, I should have started doing this in 2015. I should have started doing these fucking like talk pieces in person. It's just, it feels like there's not really a venue for that. It's like I have to do it late at this open mic that I'm the host of after most people leave. It's sort of this chamber of time that's like, okay, we can sort of do whatever we want with this. It's like late night TV. And I can practice, I think that's part of the beauty of live performance and being out doing it all the time is like, you want to kind of tap into these pockets of time where like you can really stretch and go deeper, and you're not always offered that, especially at these open mics. It's like you get 5 minutes, maybe 8 or 10 minutes tops. Wearing my patriotic shirt here, okay? Don't hate on me, okay? Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. So I'm hoping that I can kind of develop, maybe this is probably what I'll do tomorrow night. It's probably what I should have did last Thursday. I don't know what to do at these gigs. It's like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I'm like, should I play music? Should I play guitar? Should I read poetry? Should I do a fucking clown show? Should I do God knows I'm not going to do stand-up comedy. That is my promise to you. The thing is, I don't like material. Every time I go up and do like bits, all my bits feel like extremely stale. It feels like it's all stuff I wrote like 15 years ago. Like Baby Mozart. I think Baby Mozart is funny, but it's not necessarily the most cutting edge topical reference. I don't even think people know what that is. Does anybody know what Baby Mozart is? It's like a 20-year-old plus media. A lot of my stuff is like that. We're just like the Charles Grodin jokes, the Boy Meets World jokes. It's not necessarily the freshest. Although Louis C.K. is on some kind of press fucking tour because of his special. So he was talking to somebody, I think fucking Mark Normand, and then he was like, I guess Louis C.K. did the same hour for the first 10 years of his career. He literally did the same hour like every show. He'd tell the same fucking jokes, which is kind of unusual because now he's like the opposite. It's like he gets rid of all of his material. Every time he does a special, he like gets rid of his material and writes a new hour like every fucking time. And so it's like he had, I guess, this kind of warhorse. What's up, Adam S. How you doing? Thanks for watching. Are you at work? The chat is back, everybody. W's in the chat. Come at me. Come at me in the chat, okay? I'll fucking body you. I'll fucking judo your ass. I know how to handle hecklers, okay? I'm not like these fucking wimpy artists and shit. Oh, Adam S. not at work. All right, good. I'm glad. I'm glad you're just chilling and chilling. Leave in 1 hour, okay. It's a warehouse or... Damn, that sucks, man. I'm sorry. I hope you get rich. I hope Adam S. gets fucking rich. Did you invest? Well, you have a 401k and a 1090, or you have some kind of portfolio we've talked about. Currently in a hotel again. All right, cool. I think hotels are really, it's like a Wes Anderson movie. That's a cool place. It's an interesting place to work, I think. I invested in Dutch Bros, the coffee. Yeah, all right. There you go. Nice. So you're doing smart things with your money. You're making your money work for you. You got to put that money to work, you know? Which you are good, smart man. See, ladies, get with Adam S. This guy's fucking invested in Nvidia, goddammit. It's a blue chip stock. 2020, come on, the foresight, the vision. That is the kind of genetics that you want for your future offspring. See, that's what the stock market seems to me. It's like, unless you're already fucking rich, like Nvidia is about as fucking lucrative as a stock as there is, generally speaking. Maybe SpaceX, I guess, is higher evaluated, but you know, if you had 100 Apple stock that you got in 1978 or something, I guess you'd be rich now, but you have to buy a shitload of it to make a lot of money. It's like it doesn't appreciate that much, really. So it's like you buy 100 stocks, let's say they go up $50 or something, that's $5,000. It's like, it's nice, but it's not like gonna change your life really that much. Like you gotta get some kind of stock option. It's all designed to keep the fucking poor people out. Getting a stock early is fine, but you can't retire unless you are already rich enough to retire. There you go. There you go. It's just kind of icing on the cake. You got to make money somehow, you know? You got to get some kind of high fucking salary job, become a lawyer or a doctor or a fucking influencer. It's a car, it's a vacation, that's it. See, there you go. I mean, that sucks. That's part of the hopelessness about the American dream right now. Is it's like, how do you even hit it big? It doesn't even feel like, I mean, the stock market, that's sort of the responsible way to do that. Or that's the dogma, is like you're supposed to invest, but it's like, it costs money to invest. And if you're poor, it's like you lose that money. It sucks. You know, my rich friend from high school, Bitcoin. What a fucking asinine get-rich-quick scheme. My rich buddy from high school was talking about Bitcoin, in like 2012, 2013. He was talking about all of the shit that's like dominating the culture now. Elon Musk bullshit, Bitcoin, crypto, stupid shit. All of the dumb shit that has ruined our planet. It's not a coincidence. These are the people that have the power. They're the ones that have been making the decisions. And they are pushing this stuff. They're forcing all of this shit on us. All of this dumb AI shit, crypto. It's all really misguided. Going to Mars. It's all just the dumbest shit. It kills the environment. It's environmentally racist. And it just dominates all of the money and all of the speculation and all of the fucking... They've been smoking crypto. There you go. I'm a crypto addict. Get my crypto pipe. Get my crypto pipe. I'm just sucking down that Trump coin. Get out the blowtorch. I'm gonna dab some crypto. Woo! It drains, it melts the ice caps. It's like putting the ice caps in a microwave. Every time you freebase some crypto, a family of polar bears is massacred. They're raped and massacred on the island. Ay. Crypto is fantastic. Yeah, so my friends were talking about goddamn crypto. If I would have bought it and listened to them, I probably wouldn't be rich. I'd probably have like $5,000 or something, maybe. Like, you'd have to invest, tens of thousands of dollars to make a lot of money. Although everything's like that now. Fucking polymarket, it's all basically gambling. Like the stock market is fucking gambling, essentially. It's like data weighs something. At the rate we are, oh, wow, really? So we're getting fatter every second that we live stream. I feel fatter. I feel like my ass is... No, I've got, it's that healthy data fat. Well, that's what that's interesting. So it's actually a physical, because they are like data farming. They want to create all of this data. They want to suck in. I heard something about Meta is going to have or Facebook. There you go. Erase data, release energy. I heard Meta is going to put out these glasses that like run audio 24 hours. It records audio and it takes a picture every 10 seconds, just like automatically. So it's literally just like harvesting information, Marty. It's about information. Did you ever see Sneakers? Ben Kingsley, Robert Redford. Man, they really fucking called that shit. It's about information, Marty. My voice is my passport. Verify me. The obsession with collecting shit needs to stop. Collecting data, collecting metadata, collecting content. Yeah, Sneakers. It was a movie. Yeah, I saw it probably when I was like 6 or 7. We saw it on VHS. And we loved it, goddammit. That's when they made smart, liberal fucking movies. People collecting endless pictures on their phones. Yeah, taking pictures, taking videos. What does the average person do with these videos? I don't know. Are they vlogging? Has vlogging become normalized yet, or is it a regular activity for people to vlog, or is it still kind of a little bit of a... Only take a pic if it's something you would develop a roll of film for. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, to me, it's like I don't really take pictures ever. I don't, I will take a video if it feels like there's some kind of moment that feels special. That's sort of the point of my vlog. If there's some kind of lighting situation that's really remarkable and a vibe, if there's a composition, if there's some kind of landscape or message that I want to capture, or a performance or whatever, but I probably do film more than It's not your fault YouTube saves these videos. Oh, I mean, I think that's the whole point. I really do think that YouTube is just trying to... This is how they are fucking stockpiling. You know, they're just... This is their resource. You know, this is the new mining or whatever. This is the new ore. It's like, feed your fucking... You know, the visual, where you live, all of your fucking personal interactions. It's absolutely insane to me that it's legal for them to make glasses that record literally all of the audio. Or like these targeted ads where like your phone is listening to you and then pops up some video that's like literally what you were just talking about. Like that should be definitely illegal. That is like wiretapping. The average person takes 7,300 pictures a year. Wow. That's pretty interesting. I mean, I think about, you know, like every time there's a new kind of like photographic technology, whatever it is, it seems like it gets in the hands of the people, you know, whether it's like Kodachrome shit or like 8mm home movies from like the 50s, like... If it's video equipment in like the 70s or 80s or camcorders in like the 90s, it's like there's always sort of like a curve where society initially kind of is like, we're not going to do that. Or, you know, when I was younger, it was Instamatic cameras. There were like those disposable cameras, right? You'd get them, they were pretty cheap. It was like you'd get them at fucking... your graduation party or whatever, or like your lock-in or prom, or, you know, my mom would get them, if you're going on vacation here, get a disposable camera, and you take it to the fucking pharmacy to get developed, or a cord camera. I mean, I will tell you, like, we got a couple disposable cameras a few years ago. My ex, she got a couple of those disposable cameras when we went on vacation, and it is unbelievable the power of film versus these digital things. Are like, there's no profound quality at all to like digital photography. Not that I've seen. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a digital photograph. Whereas like analog, I don't know, for whatever reason, celluloid, whatever, there's just something about it that like, It really captures like the depth of the moment. It's breathtaking. These pictures that we had, like some of them were just like unbelievable. You're like, this is so poetic and so like, there's like there's a profoundness and like a soul to it. And it's like, I guess there's probably a scientific reason for that. Yeah, 1 hour photo. Robin Williams. Well, you know, I have a friend who like is super into photography, and like, you know, these cities all have some kind of like dark room or like photography, you know, like Bushwick film fucking, there's some kind of giant photo like collective where it's like there's dark rooms, you can go volunteer, you can go meet other photographers, and there's, you know, with Instagram, there's tons of fucking people that like use that medium as their brand. Like, yeah, I shoot, you know, fucking, I wanted to be a schlub doing it. Yeah. Well, yeah, now it's become this like super hipster, like art kid activity. It's not really like a normal person thing that I'm, you know, now I guess maybe normal people kind of have like the digital cameras from like 2008. That was a little bit of a throwback. People like technology that's like 20 years old. It's like the 20-year trend cycle. It's like, yeah, let's get, you know, the fucking digital, you know, with like the fucking lens that like telescopes in and out and shit. The Misha Barton era digital camera. But I mean, I don't know. There is something inherently different, because these things are just computers. You know, they're not really, it's just turning it into data. It's turning it into ones and zeros. It's not really like film is like a chemical interaction. It's like literally pulling the light out of the fucking silver nitrate or whatever. It's like, it's an erotic sexual process. It's like getting wet. Have you ever been in a dark room? I mean, Jesus Christ, some of the happiest times in my life. When I was in high school, I took photography with Mr. Bibler. Honestly, that class taught me everything I've used as a videographer. Everything that I know about videography, I learned in this photography class, which is film speed, your ISO, your shutter speed, your f-stop. That's basically all you fucking need. Digital photos don't steal the soul as bad. That's good to know. I figured it'd be the opposite. I figured that like that was the whole point of streaming and social media, was just like inhale people's souls through their fucking phone camera. But that makes sense. It's a little bit of a degraded image. And it has an aesthetic value. And 20 years from now, I'm sure that, you know, iPhone cameras are going to look super like retro and cool and shit. Yeah, real photos steal the light and part of the soul along with it. Okay. Oh boy, okay. So they actually do take part of your soul. So maybe it's good that we're not analog film snobs. I mean, you know, there's also like an economic cost to, you know, it's like you'd only get 24 pictures. So you'd have to choose carefully what the hell you were going to take a picture of. And to be honest, it's like you couldn't take low light pictures on those disposable cameras. It was like you needed a good amount of light. Maybe it had a flash. A flash is a whole kind of aesthetic in and of itself. But, I mean, the dark room in high school was like the greatest. I'd put on music after school. And then, like, there was this little bag that you, like, put the film in. And you fucking, CDs. You put the film in and you, like, take it out of the fucking canister. And you put it in some kind of, like, fucking... There's, like, some kind of, like, thermos-looking thing that, like, has these different solutions in it. And the film, you know, develops. And then you take it in and there's, like, the fucking lamp. It's like a projector almost. And it like projects the fucking negative onto the photographic paper. So you're like developing your own prints basically. You put the print in the solvent or whatever the fuck it is in the bath. You know, there's like these red lights that are like, you know, that won't expose the fucking negative. So it's like, you know, it's a vulnerable, fragile process where it's like you could blow your whole thing if the film gets exposed, if you accidentally open the camera. I mean, I suppose that could happen in digital too, but it's a much more precarious, I feel like, kind of process. You can overexpose things, you can underexpose things, and then you're just fucked. Your whole image sucks. You don't know what it's going to look like. You got to wait. You know, that was remember the George Carlin bit about 1 hour photo? He's like, you just saw the fucking thing. Now it's like people don't even wait an hour. It's like you need to see it immediately. It's like you've got an instant, you know, this is as immediate as it gets, really. It's like literally just bouncing it right back to you, high definition, full color, 1080p, baby. They don't know nothing about 1080p in the 90s. There was no 1080p. It was 480p. That was the top. Fucking 480 shit. I had my 480 shit. I mean, that was some fucking ghetto-ass shit. You used to have a fucking TV that looked like a goddamn aquarium. Your TV weighed like fucking 80 pounds. It was like a fucking... It's 97 degrees outside. There's supposed to be some kind of Canadian fucking wildfire smoke or something. Is this gonna fuck my rooftop shows? Why do my rooftop shows keep getting fucking screwed? You remember what it was like. It's weird being a millennial and being like half analog, half digital. Like we grew up, like you're saying, in scarcity, in limited physical material. Everything was like an industrial product. A TV was like a fucking submersible. It looked like some kind of aqua lung. It was like having a big iron fucking lung in your goddamn bedroom. Now it's like a TV weighs like 10 or 15 pounds. You hang it on your wall. It's this fucking thin. There's no big cathode vacuum tube in it. It doesn't have a small nuclear reactor in it or anything. I remember having to change the channel like this on a fucking dial. We had VHF and UHF. We had this little TV about this big. Half human Terminators from Terminator. Yeah, there you go, exactly. Half man, half Terminator. Yeah, anybody born after 2000 or so is like fully digital, really. Boomers are full John Connor. James Cameron really fucking called it. He really laid it all out for us. Terminator. Who knew? Who knew Terminator was gonna... I remember seeing Terminator 2 in the fucking theaters when it came out. That was a huge thing. I think I was 6 or 7 years old. And you wanted to be Arnold Schwarzenegger. You thought Arnold Schwarzenegger is the coolest guy that's ever lived. Look how fucking cool he looks. And his fucking sunglasses. He's jacked. That thing where he like spins the shotgun to like reload it and then shoots it. I was like obsessed with that as a 6-year-old. Have my squirt gun like pretending that I'm the fucking Terminator, like shooting from a fucking double barrel shotgun. And it was, you know, it was sort of like a summer blockbuster. It wasn't like frivolous, but I don't think we really realized that it was literally telling us 30 years into the future what the fuck was going to be happening with Skynet and AI. Yeah, that scene where they're like on the playground and they're like, ah! They're holding onto the chain link fence and just like being incinerated. It's fantastic. It really left an indelible impression, that's for sure, yeah. It was a vivid forecast. I asked my dad if that could really happen. He said yes. I don't think I followed the actual satirical or like the actual content of Terminator 2 just like totally went over my 6-year-old head. I just thought it was about Arnold Schwarzenegger like blowing people up and riding a motorcycle, and Edward Furlong, I guess, was like, we were supposed to live vicariously through the child character. To be honest, I think it's a much better film than the first one. I've only seen the first one like once, kind of in high school, but it really did not grab me that much. Whereas like the second Terminator is like one of the pop masterpieces of fucking the last 40 years or whatever. For better or for worse, it's like a totally... I mean, James Cameron is somebody I'm sort of conflicted about. T2 is known as the best of the series. Yeah, I'm sure that that's true. No doubt in my mind. Like, I think Terminator 2 is actually, like, a great film. Not that that fucking matters, but, like, I think Terminator 2 actually, like, is a fully realized, like, piece of art. It's science fiction, and science fiction oftentimes, I think, tells the future. Like, it's always a science fiction movie that's like, they said they were going to have fucking under 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea or whatever. Oh, and Robert Patrick, man. How great is Robert Patrick? I've always had a soft spot for Robert Patrick because of fucking Terminator 2. I mean, when he showed up on The Sopranos, and whenever he shows up in anything, you're like, happy to see fucking Robert Patrick. Because he held his own in that movie, totally. He's in fucking Wayne's World. Is that a cameo in Wayne's? You saw Robert Patrick in person? What was that? Where was that? Was he on a fucking motorcycle and shit? He was on TikTok. He's a badass. He's super cool. He seems like a very likable, like, fun guy. He's, like, big into motorcycles. He, like, rides his motorcycle. I grew up in a small town in Oregon called... They filmed Fire in the Sky. Holy shit. That was a crazy movie. That movie scared the shit out of me when I was a little kid. That scene where the guy's like getting abducted. See, back in the day, it was like that was before Alex Jones, really. It was all like Hollywood speculation. It wasn't like people thought it was necessarily journalistic truth per se. He was signing autographs. There you go. He was in, yeah, oh yeah, that would be a huge deal. Robert Patrick, holy shit. He's got the look, you know. He looks kind of like James Dean meets like the Scream mask. He should have been in like a Tarantino movie or something. He's got kind of a Michael Madsen, kind of like cool guy, badass, you know, 50s kind of. He's got that pompadour. We stand Robert Patrick, okay? And so Terminator 2, I think, it's a seminal work. James Garner was in Fire in the Sky. Holy shit. Anything James Garner's in is good. James Garner is always a delight to watch. He can do serious. He can do funny. There's this movie, Barbarians at the Gate. James Garner plays this tobacco executive for R.J. Reynolds. And it's all about what we were talking about, stocks and hostile takeover. They make some bid on the Nabisco or some shit, and it's like they force the company to sell it to them or something. And it's James Garner. James Garner's like the lead. I love fucking TV movies. I think TV movies are kind of like the best genre. Digger. Yeah, okay, let's talk about Digger. Because I'm very happy to see Tom Cruise return to, like, an actual fucking movie. Not just, like, running. Yeah, it's clearly like they saw Tropic Thunder and were like, we need a Lex Grossman-style performance. A Les Grossman. We need a feature. Give him prosthetics. You know, I was hoping Tom Cruise was going to go back to doing something that was, like, maybe a little bit, like, heavier. Like, Tom Cruise can go to, like, he can hold his own with the really heavyweight actors. You know, he can be with Philip Seymour Hoffman. He could be in a movie with fucking Jack Nicholson or Daniel Day-Lewis or something. Like, it's kind of a shame that he's done so many fucking action movies. Like, what he's done, and we've talked about it before, has been, like, really significant. It's still on. My phone just rang. Sometimes when my phone rings, my audio goes off. Can you hear me? Let me check it on the other fucking... I'm getting a call from an 800 number. Smoking weed on the internet like a loser. Like a bitter loser. Whatever, man. They're wrong. It's them who are wrong. No, it is them who are wrong. Is my audio working? Can you hear me? Check, testing. Can you just say anything in the comments if this is working? We're talking about Tom Cruise's dramatic body of work. Check, check. Can you hear me? Testing, 1, 2. Let me get my other fucking phone and see if this fucking thing is working. Son of a bitch! Calling to provide... Okay, it's live, so you can't hear me. I'm getting text messages. I hate fucking getting phone calls and text messages. I just hate it. Just let me live my life in peace. I can barely take care of myself. It's all I can do is to go to the store and live stream and write poetry and host open mics and feed myself and edit vlogs. It's hard work, okay? We should, you know, if they're going to harvest our data, they should pay us. I think that's only fair. You know, like, I don't see a problem with that, per se. But, like, if they're going to steal everybody's fucking intellectual property, that's right, everybody wants a piece. Well, not everybody. Some people had enough. If they're going to steal everybody's fucking intellectual property. No, I'm in Bushwick, baby. I'm in the fucking forefront of cool area. I went the other night to this place, TVI. There's this guy, Jonathan Tubin, who was DJing. Felt like 2007 all over again. People were wearing sailor hats. A lot of people have like this kind of like sleazy, like boat captain style, where they wear like sort of Hawaiian shirts that are kind of button low and like tight pants, kind of bell-bottomy pants, and they're wasted. They're all just like fucking really shit-faced. It's kind of nice to see people that know how to party. Sheepshead Bay, I would not necessarily say is a cool area per se, but you know, to be honest, all of New York City is really interesting and worth living in. It's more, I would say, of like a, you know, it hasn't been gentrified. It's like immigrants and it's like people that have lived there their whole lives. It's not like a bunch of white Whole Foods, Trader Joe's people. Like the parts of Brooklyn that are gentrified are like the coast along the river and sort of out from that on the L train. And so it's like anywhere there's a Whole Foods, you know, it's like that's like white people safe, you know, transplant gentrifier. Uptown Manhattan and Sheepshead Bay. Okay. Sheepshead Bay is where Larry David is from. It's you know, it's right like by Coney Island and Brighton Beach and on the ocean. So it's like, if you're into that, you know, it's a pretty cool place, actually. When you're like in Manhattan, you're thinking, no fucking way am I going to go to Sheepshead Bay for anything. But like when you actually go there, you're like, oh, wow, this is like an incredible place. There's all these really interesting restaurants, really cool, kind of funky, local. Rollin' Roaster is out there. You know, Rodney Dangerfield had some club out there. I think Dice started there. So there's a rich cultural history in Sheepshead Bay. I think it was a big mafia place. Larry David from Sheepshead Bay. New York gets a lot of attention in cinema. Nobody says anything about Seattle. Yeah, I do think that's something that needs to change. Like with digital, with the ability for everybody to sort of make content and make movies, like there needs to be stories told about every fucking city. I mean, being from Columbus, Ohio, it's like they'd shoot a movie there like once every fucking 20 years. They made this movie in Columbus called Teachers in the 80s, and like people still talked about it. Like, oh, remember when they filmed Teachers and Nick Nolte was here? It's like it was fucking 20 years ago. And they're still like hyped on it. It's like sad. Like, I don't know if there's ever been a significant movie made about Columbus, Ohio, or book for that matter, to be honest. Like, it's kind of it's a rich terrain to plow because no one's really done it before. You know, anytime they do a movie like that, it's like a one-off, or they usually set it in Chicago. If they're trying to be like accessible and middle American, it's like, oh, it's Chicago. And it's like, Seattle, there's that movie Singles. And then obviously Sleepless in Seattle. I feel like there's a few, Frasier. There's some media representation. Seattle has an identity. You know, it's got that Space Needle, it's got Starbucks, it's got Amazon, it's got, you know, somebody, I was watching this TikTok, it was like the #1 city in America for every decade. And it's like, I think 2000s, the guy picked Seattle. Because he's like, Starbucks happened, or maybe it was the 90s. No, it was the 90s. It was definitely the 90s, because fucking grunge, obviously. My friend Jason lived in Seattle, like, during the whole grunge thing. And so he's lived in New York and he lived in Seattle during a time when it was actually like this, like, hot, fucking unique cultural market, creating these kind of legendary bands. Not that I don't know, it's still definitely hugely culturally impactful. Everybody I know from Columbus who's been to Seattle, like, loves it. They all fucking talk about how great the fucking nature is. The trees are huge. The city is, like, right with the nature and shit. So it's an interesting place. It definitely has a distinct kind of fingerprint, I feel like. Tom Segura's ex-wife. Okay. She's got that Tom Segura's money. Well, maybe when my fucking stand-up ranting career takes off, I feel it anytime now. I mean, I'm telling you, these people on Monday were like super enthusiastic. They were like, you should just do that. We could have watched more. The people wanted more. They wanted more. So, yeah, the people are cold here. Yeah, I believe that. I could see that. I mean, I think the people in Oregon were kind of like that. I was a little surprised. It's almost like a New Englandish thing, where it's like they're kind of like not friendly or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm making that up. Seattle, I mean, it's like really expensive, right? I mean, it's one of the places I hear about that is like becomes totally transformed and is like there's giant. Wasn't there a temporary autonomous zone there? And Vancouver has a lot of film stuff. You know, there's always fucking shoots in Vancouver and shit. Although that's more of a thing now. It's like now more places have these tax breaks. Georgia, Atlanta, New Jersey's got a bunch of fucking sound stages. Like, there's more places that have like local production or something. People keep to their little cliques in Oregon and Washington. Yeah, I mean, it does seem like, I don't know, especially in Oregon, a lot of people go up there to hide. Or they don't want to be bothered. They don't want to have anything to do with like the government or fucking society. They want to live off the grid and like have guns and do drugs. Be on a weed farm, live on a weed farm. I've been to Spokane, Washington, which was really a cool place, and I'm sure it's ripe for exploitation. It's ripe for development. Spokane was a lot like Columbus was like 20 years ago. It was just like, it really wasn't that developed. It was kind of sleepy. The downtown, it was just kind of slow. There was something that was kind of like chill. Oregon. Yeah, I mean, I had a nice time there, but like we were on the Oregon coast. We drove through like Arcadia, or I think is what it's called. And we did the whole like Willamette Valley or something. We did Portland. We drove from Spokane to Portland down like the river, whatever the fuck that is. And then we drove from Portland to like down the Oregon coast. And we were in this like really cool little beach town. I'm like smoking a huge joint. It's like, you know, there's cool little shops and like boardwalk, and you go right on the beach. And it's like, wow, this is fucking dope ass little like beach town. And then you find out it's the home of the International like Cop Museum. And like everybody there is like a cop, and they're there to like visit this fucking museum about being a cop. It was like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, where they go to the fucking cop convention. It's like, wow, this is fucking like not chill at all. I thought Oregon was like hippies, but it's sort of like this war. It's like, oh wow, really? You grew up in Willamette Valley, huh? And you moved to Seattle, or... I thought Oregon was going to be like I thought it was going to be more San Francisco than San Francisco. I thought it was going to be like, if San Francisco's like liberal, Portland, because all I knew was like Portlandia and the fact that, you know, like all the drugs are legal and it's got kind of like a vegan, freegan, dumpster fucking eating culture. And Portland, the whole state, it felt like militia or something. It almost felt like right wing in a way. Or like it felt like maybe New Hampshire, or like it felt like one of these states where it's like libertarian or something. Oh wow, I moved to Chicago, then Seattle. Interesting. Yeah, wow, okay. How long did you live in Chicago? Hippies live in Oregon. There you go, okay. So there are a bunch of hippies. Yeah, I mean, there has to be. It's like, that's where all the fucking like really queer, a lot of the avant-garde culture I felt like has come out of that area, you know, whether it's uh, Sleater Kinney or Miranda July or you know, like everybody's a stripper in Portland. They're all like hipster strippers. They're all queer. They're all you know, a lot of the gender stuff, bike, fixed gears. Fucking, wow, 8 years. Holy shit, okay. So you've lived in a few places in a way that's like pretty significant. Did you like Chicago, or what do you like better, Chicago or Seattle? Or Portlandia? I mean, Portlandia did not seem like, maybe, I guess I didn't really spend that much time in Portland. I didn't like dig into the, Portland just felt like Columbus. It felt like being in Clintonville or something. Ken Kesey's statue in Eugene, he was there. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he lived up there, that's right. Ken Kesey, Cuckoo's Nest is all like in Oregon, right? It's like, isn't it? Doesn't it take place in Oregon? I mean, Seattle to me, like Jimi Hendrix and the Sonics and all of those fucking bands. Those bands that played at like Spanish Castle. I was really into that when I was like in my I thought that was like the greatest fucking music. When I first heard the Sonics, I was like, oh my God, this is the greatest band ever. They just did everything. Like, it was hard, like punk rock music, but it had rock and roll, like melodic rhythm. You know, like punk rock rhythm is more kind of like automated and kind of dark. Rock and roll rhythm is a little more kind of upbeat or something. I prefer Chicago. There you go. All right. Chicago over Seattle. Why don't you move there? Everybody's moving to Chicago. Move to Logan Square or Wicker Park, or probably shouldn't have left. Isn't that just the way it goes? I mean, that's a big distance to move from Seattle to... I guess a lot of people do that in that area. You know, it's like, it's not that unusual to move from like Idaho to Chicago, or like Spokane. My ex's family who lived there, they lived in like Minnesota or Nebraska or some shit. And they like jumped from there to Washington. It's, you know, it's like pretty intense weather-wise. It's all flat and fucking cold, and the coast is probably nicer. Like, I think Portland and Seattle's good if you got the bread. Yeah, it's probably like New York. It's like these are all just luxury cities for tech people that have ripped everybody off. Tech and finance people that just have stolen everything through goddamn digital, you know, appropriation. Expropriation. Yeah, Adam S., you got to become some big shot investor. You know, you should just become like a professional poker player, like Dan Bilzerian. You just need to get into the world of high-stakes poker. Madison, Wisconsin? I've heard the university there is nice. A lot of people go to that University of Wisconsin, Madison, for like their graduate degree, because I think it's funded and I think it's a good school. Like, I give a shit. Academia's dying, haven't you heard? It's all AI. The professor's AI, the students are AI. No one's actually learning anything. They're all trying to be influencers. Is there an influencer? You'd be better off going to Streamer University. Fuck real college. You want to make money, go to fucking Streamer. You're going to move to Madison, Wisconsin. Why? Because it's near? You like that area, or? I've never been to Wisconsin, actually, personally. I've been to Chicago briefly, and I liked it. I probably should have lived there, to be honest, but I'm an idiot, so I moved to New York. And, you know, lived like a hobo, basically. A hobosexual. A hobosexual pothead. So, in any case, we live with the choices we made. And I like the choices I made. I mean, you know, my life is like a picaresque adventure. It's a pretty cool story anyway. I'd like to have traveled more, that's about it. That's really the only thing I'd massively change about my life. So I would have liked to have gone more places for longer periods of time. Got more trees in Chicago, but still Midwest. All right, that's a smart pick. Have you been there? You been to Madison, Wisconsin? It's probably pretty cold, I imagine, but you know, the chicks are probably pretty hot. Probably a bunch of hot. I mean, Chicago had a lot of hot chicks, but they were like Midwestern chicks. They weren't like in New York. It's just every kind of hot chick. It's like being in a Bond movie. It's just like every hot chick from every country, and there's just so many levels of hot chick in New York. It's like there's fucking tall model chicks. There's like normal kind of hot chicks. There's like local hot chicks. You know, there's art hoes. Whatever you're into. Whereas like Chicago, it felt more like Midwest, and it felt like kind of a big campus. My attitude is more like people from Chicago. People from Chicago are like super friendly and warm. People in New York are friendly. They're not like mean, but like they're not really warm. You know, they're not like the most like outwardly. They're more European. In like New England and shit. The East Coast is a little more snobby. And like European people are not like overly effusive or any kind of shit like that. They're kind of like, they think that shit's weird. They think Americans are loud and why are they being so nice? That's not necessary. Please stop. You're from Ohio, aren't you? Oh my God, it's like the fucking Lawrence of Arabia outside. Man, what would I do if Adam S. and Bruce Halladay didn't watch? I think other people watch, they just don't watch live. You know, like I think I've gotten 40 plus views on the last couple I've done. That's like people clicking later. It's on them. You know, that's their poor choice making in life. Yeah, Seattle, it's got some media representation. Seattle has an identity. There are definitely hugely culturally significant things. Ichiro Suzuki, Ken Griffey Jr., Nintendo is in Seattle. I mean, what could be better than that? Nintendo, one of the greatest companies of our lifetime. Nintendo, I would put culturally up there with anything that's been created. Artistically, creatively, like Shigeru Miyamoto and like Nintendo video games from like NES. That's as good as the Beatles. That's as good as fucking, you know, Fellini or The Sopranos or my live streams or Larry Sanders Show. What are the most significant cultural artworks of the last, since 1950? Or I don't even know, like what were the more recent literary, not some Ben Lerner shit, I'll tell you that. I have a plot of land I could capitalize on. See, you're not nobody. You've got stocks, you've got land. That's like self-ownership. My dad would let me have it. There you go. I mean, that sounds fun. Just put some kind of like tiny house on it or something. Or get like a, you know, just some kind of trailer even. You know, my Uncle Pat lived in a fucking trailer. He bought some little piece of land in Panama City Beach that was like on a bay. And it was like, you know, a jungle basically. And he put a fucking trailer on it. Blood Meridian, there you go. I'm amazed at how much Blood Meridian discourse there is on Twitter. Like Blood Meridian, it's like they really only talk about like Infinite Jest and Blood Meridian. It's like those are the only two fucking books that exist. A yurt, there you go. Hell yeah. Now you're talking. Now that sounds like a self-sustaining way of life. A yurt. I mean, if it worked for them, it can work now. How much land? Is it like forest, or is it near any city, or is it rural? Is it, I mean, it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice to have like land in the country and go to the country. My friend Richard Cotterman used to have this farm in high school. We would go drink at the farm. It wasn't really a farm. It was just like this fucking piece of land. You know, we drive out. It was like probably an hour from Columbus. It was sort of near Buckeye Lake-ish. And it was like weird, you know, you'd have to go on like these country roads that like weren't even fucking paved, like gravel roads and shit. And it's like, you know, you gotta take all these turns and shit. And then you end up at this goddamn farm. And there's nothing there. You gotta shit in a hole in the ground. There's literally an outhouse, you know, and there's fucking 15 cars of high schoolers. People have tents and shit. And, you know, when you're in high school, it's like you got to find some kind of weird circumstances to drink because it's illegal. And I mean, it wasn't that illegal. Oh, it's an hour from Eugene. Bam. That's not bad. That sounds pretty dope, actually. That sounds nice. Maybe when you get to be like 40 or something. Or I don't know, when you get older, you'll be like, fuck society. I'm ready to go live in my hermit shack. Write haikus for the rest of my days. Make walking pilgrimages to all the shrines and religious holy sites of the region. In the temperate rainforest of northwestern America. The logging country. Gary Schneider and shit. Big country out there. I mean, yeah, Oregon was dope, to be honest. All of the rural and, you know, if you get some kind of electric car, some kind of super good gas mileage Chinese EV, try to import some kind of Chinese EV. Do you think the Iranians killed Lindsey Graham? They're doing us some favors. Maybe they'll find, you know, I think China could solve all our problems. Maybe China could invent some kind of Temu, like, tiny house. You know, tiny apartment, like little, turn storage facilities into like micro apartments. Just make them like those Japanese, you know how they have those like pods that people live in? I would do that. I would do that right now. Get me a fucking pod. We're just bed rotting anyway. That's what the Matrix is going to look like. It's going to be a bunch of pods that we're just laying in on our phones. Because that's all we can afford. We're just stacked in these fucking pods. Single men. Totally extraneous vestigial penises everywhere. Not genetically viable. Genetically insufficient, financially, personality-wise. They need to go to therapy. Go live in a fucking pod till you die. Bed rot till you die. You're all surplus. You're all like army surplus. It's like, we got to get rid of this shit. It's all wholesale. Just get it the fuck out of here. Where can we stack these bodies? We need a human filing cabinet. I would live in the pod right the fuck now. If I could get a pod in Midtown for $400 a month, sign me the fuck up. I would do it immediately. I'll put my shit, you know, in storage. I've been living out of a backpack basically for the last decade. It's a disgrace. You know, it's like we've been kicked out of our homes. We've been gentrified. We've been fucking de-landed. We've had our land stolen. I want a land acknowledgement on behalf of the Proctors used to live on Quay Avenue in Columbus, Ohio. I want a land acknowledgement at the Sludge, okay? I think everybody who lives in the Sludge should be like, well, this once belonged to some other people. It was stolen from them. Every apartment I've lived in. Now, I shouldn't make fun of land acknowledgements. They're not funny. They're not a laughing matter. I'm just kidding. But it's like, I don't know. It's like an endless trail of dragging your shit from one apartment that you can't afford to the next. And where are you going to land? You know? You might have to live in a fucking car. Yeah, exactly. You might have to live in a van. A lot of people are living in fucking cars. That's like pretty fucking gnarly. I mean, sleeping in a car is not easy. It's not any fun. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of weirdos out there. You don't know who's walking by, who's looking in the window. You're like, the thing like shakes with the drag, you know, as the fucking other cars go by and trucks, and you just hear the whole rhythm of the world. You hear the fucking birds, you hear people going to work, you hear everything, kind of, the whole world kind of waking up, the sky cracking like a fucking egg with light and activity, and it sucks sleeping in a car. I do not want to sleep in a car. I wouldn't even want to sleep on one of those like bookmobiles. You know, there's all these guys like downtown that have like these buses where they sell books out of. Good for them. You know, good for them for managing to actually get their shit together to do that. You know, that's probably what I should be trying to do. Get some kind of bookmobile that I can live in. That's probably the most sustainable. And just park it someplace on the East Village, basically, I guess. Park it in front of KGB. There's some guy on 4th Street, he owns like, it's a photography place. It's like a camera, and he's been there so long. Literally, his car is parked out front. It's like a 1970s fucking Cutlass or some shit. It's really a nice pimp mobile, you know? It's fucking like orange, and it really is a nice car, but like he's got some kind of special dispensation where like he literally doesn't have to move his car. He's like grandfathered in. They just let him sit in the store all day with his car parked out front. It's like, how do I get that? Just give me the honorary out. I'll just live in front of KGB. You know, I can be on call at any time if they just want to host some kind of pop-up. I'm there. I can do sound. I'm the live-in utility. I don't know. Well, it's just, it's impossible to find any kind of lease that is like long-term, stable. It's just like everything is so predatory and fluctuates, and what are we supposed to do? Just parlay bet ourselves to fucking lifestyles of the rich and famous? I just got to get on Polymarket and keep betting on the war. Gambling is like the stock market, where it's like you don't even make that much money. Like, you'd have to put a lot of money down. Like, somebody just won a bunch of money in the... Did Tiger Woods win something this year, or am I imagining that? I probably am. That happened like 10 years ago. Somebody won, maybe Rory. Somebody won something this year at really long odds. You know, but it's like, let's say somebody's 100 to 1. You bet $1,000, you make $100,000. But it's like you still have to bet $1,000. Like if you bet $100, you'll make $10,000. Pretty nice, but you got to be a high roller. You got to take big swings. You know, I guess if there was something that I would go back and tell my younger self, it's like you got to take big fucking swings. That was something that I never really did that much. You know, I was so nervous to do anything that even doing what I did felt like I'm pushing myself out of my comfort zone. And, You know, I'm being plays. You got to remember lines. You're getting in front of people, but it's like you really got to push yourself like way, way, way into whatever it is you're doing. Like you just got to throw yourself like completely fucking into it, and just you got to take giant swings. Like look at Wes Anderson. You know, Wes Anderson was badgering this guy. Are you going to make my movie? Are you going to make my movie? You know, James L. Brooks, this is a story he tells about Bottle Rocket. Wes Anderson was just like following him around. Are you going to make my movie? Scared money don't make money. Is that a Jay-Z lyric, or is that Nas, or who are the Seattle rap guys? There's got to be some kind of Seattle rap. Sir Mix-a-Lot. It's from Seattle. Presidents of the United States. My friend was telling me he knew the Presidents of the United States of America, the band. Like, as they were coming up, he saw them sort of get famous. And he said they were already rich. You know, like they had come from like a wealthy background. And what they did, you know, people just liked it and it just grew from there, you know. It does happen to some people, you know, if you're Ivy Wolk or something, if you're Subway Takes guy, if you're fucking Connor O'Malley, things happen. You know, I don't know. You just got to be that good. You know, you got to be Zach Zucker. You got to be, you know, Broad City. You got to be Ben Lerner. Sleaford Mods. That's a good band name. That sounds dope as shit. I only listen to Sleaford Mods. Is that a band, or is that some kind of online subculture or something? The moderators of the Sleaford forums. Sleaford Mods. It sounds dope as hell. You know, if a band name has a name that good, then they're probably pretty good. You know, like Royal Trucks. Royal Trucks is a pretty good name. You're like, okay, this band's probably pretty good. Oh, nice. Okay, I got the Sleaford Mods accent. Sleaford Mods. These goddamn British people. They stole rock and roll. You want to know who really stole rock and roll, okay? It wasn't white people. It was British people. They're the ones that stole all the fucking jobs. How many fucking British rock stars? And they had it. They did it. They did it good. They did it better than, you know, straight-laced. Americans do country music. You know, like Americans are more like bam, 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 bam. It's not like this bouncy, jovial, merry old England thing. Dirty Rats. Okay, I'll put it on my... Every week at the open mic, I DJ the cocktail hour, so I'm constantly... So Sleaford Mods, Dirty Rat. I'll add it to my cocktail hour playlist. I'm constantly trying to premiere new tracks for people because I you know, these people are songwriters, they're artists. I want to give them examples of things that they can learn from. And every second has to be educational and fully maxed out. You know, we're intellect maxing. You know, we're genius maxing, okay? We're consciousness maxing, okay? To use the fucking annoying, stupid modern slang. We're consciousness maxing. We're performance maxing. We're art maxing. We're poetry maxing. We're soul maxing. We're self-expression maxing. We're dance maxing. We're sing maxing. Ay. It's so annoying. But it works. It just works. It makes you feel current. Makes you feel like you're fucking... The music video really paints a picture of the UK. Okay, nice. Have you been there? Have you been to the UK? I'd like to go there now. Now that I'm like totally inundated with Beatles propaganda, like literally all day, every day. My algorithm has just decided like every fucking Beatles thing ever is just like what I want to see. And so I'm constantly seeing like their childhood homes, and there was a video, it was the guy from Frankie Goes to Hollywood visiting Paul McCartney's childhood home on Forthland Road. or whatever the fuck, Cavendish or some shit, I don't know. It's still there. It belongs to the National Trust. I'd love to go there. I'd love to go on a fucking Beatles tour. Are you kidding me? I'd love to go to London, see all the fucking swinging fucking Piccadilly Circus and shit. Let's go to Abbey Road. I mean, Jesus Christ. There's probably so many fucking things in London. Poetry shit. Go to the Globe Theatre. Go to fucking Blake Cottage. Haven't left the continent. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to fucking see in this continent, to be honest. America is its own Europe. And it's kind of, you know, it's a little bit disrespectful. It's a little bit, you know, it's a little bit of a fuck you to America that all these Americans go to Europe. It's like, oh, where do you go on vacation? Oh, I go to Italy. I go to Europe. Fuck them. I don't go to fuck America. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go to fucking, you know, Amarillo, Texas. I mean, America is a magnificent place. It sucks that it's like this shitty corporate monoculture that just blankets everything. And people are just in this kind of like soul deadened hypnosis of zombie fucking shit. Everybody just like shit culture. But I don't know. I'd like to see social media in other parts of the country. Like, what is TikTok like in Nebraska or Texas or Oregon? You know, it's like it's got to be a whole different group of like local content creators. You know, like, does everybody just see like the TikTok people from New York? Does everybody just see? It's either van life videos or like a day in my life as an artist in New York or a day in the life as a freshman at some fucking fancy college that people want to go to. You gotta fetishize your lifestyle on the internet for clicks and money and likes and, you know but some of these content, like, do you know Elizabeth Eats? Elizabeth Eats is on TikTok. Elizabeth Eats is a fucking star. Her videos are magnificent. I don't even know how does she have writers? Her lines are so good. Elizabeth Eats like literally doesn't miss. And she's like this probably 25-year-old chick, maybe 24. I don't know how old she is. She's on TikTok. She does like these food reviews. And they're just like chef's kiss. Or have you seen Mullet Reviews guy? There's this guy that goes around to different Chinese buffets. So it's all food, you know, influencer shit. That's like the easiest way to get famous, I feel like. Just do like some kind of food. But anyway, this guy, he's like the Anthony Bourdain of Chinese buffet. And first of all, the hook just totally works. It's such a good gimmick. Like, his gimmick is day whatever of trying Chinese buffets until he gets food poisoning. So it's kind of racist, and the setup is kind of, you know, condescending to these people, but it's also like relatable. These Chinese buffets are like kind of totally amazing. You know, they're just like, and so this guy has gone pretty viral. I don't know if I'm seeing him just because he's from Ohio and like he's relevant to my psychology, or if everybody is seeing this fucking, you know, Mullet Reviews guy. He's got 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. And Mullet Reviews guy. But his videos are good. You know, he's gooning, he's got hooks, he's got good timing, he's got a romantic subplot with his girlfriend who films all the videos. You know, people really do, with your content, it's like people really do glean all of the information they can from like whatever you're presenting. Whatever the environment is, like this. You're seeing me in this apartment, and so you're getting a certain idea about who I am. I'm the Scott Disick of open mic poetry. Never heard of him. See, yeah, well, that's the other thing about fame now, is it's so like in all these bubbles and all these pockets where it's like, mullet reviews guy. There's probably hundreds of thousands of people that have, like, do you know Subway Takes guy? It's all just like whatever their gimmick is, and then it's that guy. Subway Takes guy, mullet guy. Who else is like, Rick Beato is like kind of viral somehow. He's like Mr. Dad Rock. He's got the fucking market cornered on Dad Rock long form podcasting. He just did an in-depth Billy Joel interview, which I like Billy Joel to a point, but I don't know. It's not that I don't want to watch a Billy Joel interview, but I'm a little wary of Rick Beato. I think he might be kind of a negative. He might be a bad influence. I don't know. He's a little too, I don't know, normie or something. He's clearly like a Dad Rock. He's just got Dad Rock kind of vibes. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just, I have my own kind of issues. I've inner conflict with my Dad Rock, heritage. Oh! And I probably spend way too much fucking time on TikTok and YouTube and I've always been a TV addict. Even as a little kid, I was obsessed with fucking cable television. I watched fucking TV all day. That was my childhood in some ways. We had experiences too. If you're poor, like your TV is kind of like your vacation. It's not like you're traveling all over the world and having all these experiences and shit. It's just like you're at home playing video games. You're at home just watching all the goy slop. All the goy slop that the Jews make in Hollywood or New York. How can we hypnotize the goys so they'll keep being consumer, producer, worker drones, human cattle? This Larry David guy's pretty good at it. Larry David has been entertaining everybody, I guess, but I'm supposed to write this essay about Wes Anderson, which I'm super excited about. My friend, who has a literary magazine, my last live stream, right, I was talking about this Wes Anderson 30th anniversary concert because it's been popping up in my goddamn algorithm. All of these clips from the Hollywood Bowl, Jackson Brown singing, or fucking Jason Schwartzman. Hollywood patting itself on the back. A time-honored tradition. A tradition as old as Hollywood itself. Them inventing fake awards, giving them to each other. And so, I don't know, I just started talking about it as it's sort of autobiographical, but I also feel like it's culturally relevant. And, but it's also just like, it's a slow news day. Trump's not doing anything that insane. And you just get sick of talking about it. It's like, how many times can he head fake us about this war? How many times, Lindsey Graham died. Woohoo, boo-hoo, big deal. There's not much to say. Fuck him. So it's like, I don't know what to fucking talk about. People don't probably want to hear about my personal life necessarily. It's not that relatable. So I try to talk about cultural shit like movies. We talk about movies. Talk about art stuff, books, whatever. it's, you know, it's not planned in advance, and it's not fucking like, it's kind of just scattered all over the place for like the audience to just figure out and wait for. But that's how you get to all this stuff, you know, just like the things come to you, and there's just so much. There's just so much to talk about. There's, you know, I got to talk about the Wes Anderson 30th anniversary concert, because it's like, you know, it's a weird, like, spot of, like, almost like peace in, like, a culture that's, like, so, like, stormy and, like, full of, like, disruption, and, like, you know, there's not that many artists that have had that long of a shelf life of that generation, Gen X, you know, like a lot of those bands and shit, they all died. All those grunge bands and shit, they basically all died. You know, this is one of the reasons why I like had that whole Weezer kick I was on. Because it's like, you know, Weezer, it's like they've been around 30 fucking years. They've consistently made strong work. And, so it's like, why do we have to keep celebrating like these boomers and shit? Why not celebrate Linklater or celebrate Wes Anderson? And, you know, he's a household name. He's something of like a person who's both a popular success and an artistic success. There's not that many artists that get to that level. I mean, particularly in more recent generations. I mean, is there even a millennial equivalent to that? Like, I don't think so. I don't think that there's a millennial, like, auteur. Is it raining? That, like, has that definite of, like, an aesthetic style that is also like significant artistically. You know, I do think like Wes Anderson, you can put his work up with the American artists, whatever they are. Eugene O'Neill, maybe in a way. Not that he's necessarily that deep, but I think he takes that stuff into consideration, playwrights, and, you know, you could put, like, Wes Anderson stuff maybe isn't as like severe, and like it's not really about like real life stuff. It kind of, but it's a movie, you know, so it's like it kind of just, there's something that's like fantasy almost about every Wes Anderson movie. So it's like there's something about it, like it doesn't actually move you, or it doesn't feel like tragic ever, even when like bad shit happens. And I also talked about it at the fucking open mic when I was ranting at the end of the open mic. I was going on and on about Wes Anderson and just trying to say anything that like maybe and I'm like, do people really want to hear about this? They want to hear me fucking talk about Wes Anderson? Like, probably not. But he's one of those artists where it's like he's been around long enough. You have a history with him, you know, like when we were younger, when I was younger, it was like he was a big part of our lives. And then he sort of went away, and, you know, I tuned him out basically for like the last 20 years. It's a 20-year, you know, nostalgia cycle. The Weezer thing was kind of like that too. It was like, just like, you know, recovering like energy from the person that you used to be or something. It's like, yeah, this was significant to me. Here are the reasons why. As an older person, I can still appreciate it. I'm glad the guy is still out there doing his thing. And like, I think like a lot of artists, people like the early funny movies, you know, like Woody Allen, right? That was in Stardust Memories. They like the early funny movies. You know, it's like the artist starts with something that's like very pop. It's jokes or it's pop songs or whatever. Everybody loves it. They break through, and then they sort of like start doing real complicated avant-garde shit, or they develop like the Beatles Or, you know, like Woody Allen's movies became more like Bergman, Fellini, fucking black and white. You know, he started off doing like Bananas and shit. Take the money and run. And Wes Anderson, it's like he's had a journey as an artist where like there's stages of his career he's developed. I think he sticks to his guns. You know, he makes the choices that he wants to make, for better or for worse. That's like his principle. He follows like the auteur theory, like to the hilt. That's almost like his poetics or something. It's just like every decision has to be like a Wes Anderson decision. It has to look like a Wes Anderson movie. He's kind of a Nazi about it in a way. But so anyway, I'm supposed to like write this. I'm supposed to write an essay about Wes Anderson, which I'm stoked about, and 2,500 words. I think that's like, I think a page is like 400 words maybe. So that's like it's supposed to be 2,500 to 4,000 words. So it's like 6 to 10 pages maybe. So I haven't really written well, that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this, is because it's like, this is like a way that I can sort of brainstorm about it. Like I was looking at the transcript of my last live stream where I was talking all the shit about Wes Anderson. And I mean, there's a lot to discuss, as you can imagine. You know, as somebody who likes to fucking live stream for 4 hours in a row, like, you can imagine there's a lot of things that you could talk about using Wes Anderson as a lens. You know, his journey as an artist and how it correlates with just like the development of our culture over the last 20 years. He was sort of like the last analog kind of forward. His movies are like all about that. It's all this kind of precious artifacts of like 20th century kind of cool records, Adidas tracksuits, you know, tennis headbands, New York, you know, New York of the 70s or whatever, that all those kind of Gen X people like were obsessed with. And I guess we're still obsessed with it to some degree. I don't know. I guess kids read just kids, but I don't know if there's that. People who move here now like want to be the Strokes and shit. You know, they're not moving here to be like, you know, Blondie or something necessarily. That music's kind of old at this point. I mean, it's still obviously like a big part of the culture and shit, and it's but a lot of it's almost more like hip hop. You know, like New York, I think has such a huge significance in hip hop. That's kind of like the lore, like this thing Jay-Z did at Yankee Stadium, and Nas is from fucking New York, and I mean, how many fucking like it was invented here. It's one of those things that like it's climbed the ladder of cultural hierarchy. That like now hip hop is like kind of the imminent, it's like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or something. It's like kind of the most storied, but it's also kind of like, it's also kind of over in a way. Like people still do it, it's still like relevant, but there's something about it that's just like become assimilated into like the main culture and our lives, people's personalities, you know. Is it gonna rain or not rain? I can't really figure out what's going on here. It's like, it looks like pretty satanic weather out there. It's like kind of a brimstone sky, and it's got that, it's like Ghostbusters weather. It's, you know, it's that Canadian wildfire smoke. I'm hoping this doesn't fuck my rooftop show up. We shouldn't have canceled the one last week. It was a mistake to cancel the one last week. It's just, I figured that roof was going to be super soggy, and I don't have the equipment. The thing is, like, the equipment crapped out on me, so. I didn't necessarily want to drag people out of their fucking... Vigo is coming. That's right. Vigo the Carpathian. I liked Ghostbusters too. That's just my personality. I tend to like, like the B-sides and the knockoffs and the TV movies and the cable Ace Awards. And Ghostbusters 2, I think, gets a bad rap. I might even like it better than the first one. Like, I think Ghostbusters in a way is like almost like an overrated movie. Like, when I moved to New York in the early 2010s, and like improv culture, the two movies that like everybody was obsessed with were Jurassic Park and fucking Ghostbusters. There was an improv troupe called Theme from Jurassic Park. People were so obsessed with like their VHS boomer childhoods, boomer raised, that like Ghostbusters was like the fucking gold standard for like comedy. Pre-Trump, pre-cancel culture, pre-like the reboot. Ghostbusters was just like everybody, I mean, at least in New York, it was everybody's favorite, like ultimate kind of comedy, which I don't really, it's not that funny. Like, it's a good movie. It's definitely like, it's the marriage of like the comedy and the horror and the special effects. That's what kind of makes it like a special, and those personalities, just like seeing them together, playing off each other. It's a delightful film. It's definitely a hilarious movie, but is it as funny as like Spinal Tap? Like, Spinal Tap is just like every fucking line is like super quotable, hilarious. Ghostbusters, it's like there's so much story in that movie. There's a lot of window dressing. A lot of it is the effects, the kind of paranormal activity. It was an interesting hybrid of genres, which I think that almost like takes away from the comedy or something to me. That's really what I'm saying. It's like, in order for a movie to really be like the funniest movie, it kind of just has to be like a pure comedy, like Dumb and Dumber, or Mel Brooks movies, or maybe like, I guess those are genre things too, but they're parodies. They're not really like Ghostbusters is not a parody. The paranormal is like taken very seriously in that movie. Like, the special effects are like, they're all there to like really sell it and make it, it's almost like watching fucking Close Encounters or something. Like, there's a lot of money went into the budgets of that, because they knew they were going to sell a lot of toys. And it's just, I don't know, it's not one of those, it's not like Airplane or something where like every fucking line is a joke. Like, to me, it's like, if you want to talk about the gold standard of like a comedy movie, it's like, it has to be like that in a way. Like, Ghostbusters is like a romance in a way. There's like a whole love story. And it's definitely like funny, and there's a lot of quotable stuff, and it's a hilarious movie. But it's not like Caddyshack. Caddyshack, it's just like, let's make this as funny as fucking possible. And everything looks really low budget, and there's definitely a story, but it's not really like, an experimental genre hybrid or something. It's like, let's just make this kind of send up of like stuck up golf fucking assholes. And it's sort of like a 60s hippie war on, WASP establishment hierarchy. I didn't even know it was going to rain. This is what's going to happen tomorrow. Damn, look at that, people. Look at that. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? So yeah, here I am just nitpicking. I have to talk shit about Ghostbusters. I have to put it back in its place culturally. I mean, it's a, it's a comedy, but it's almost like better than a comedy, because it has this whole other aspect that's sort of groundbreaking, and and very fully realized, like Star Wars or some shit. It's like there's this whole visual life to Ghostbusters that's like pretty unbelievable, and it's almost like too good for the comedy. Like it's like too real. It makes it better. It makes it less funny. It'd be funnier if it was a low budget piece of shit. You know, like Duck Soup. You know, it's like there's a lot of kind of wonky shit that happens in Duck Soup, but it's like because it's just laughs, you know. Ghostbusters is almost more like a romantic comedy, you know, and then it's got this whole kind of scare the children. Not too scary. You know, it's not like Freddy Krueger or some shit. And, you know, it's hard to draw the line from something like Ghostbusters to Rushmore to Life Aquatic to... I mean, I guess Zissou is sort of like a Venkman. They both wear jumpsuits. But, you know, it's just interesting that these directors all tapped into, like, this kind of poignant actor quality that Bill Murray has because, you know, every movie he made before Rushmore was, like, not really like that. Maybe Ed Wood. I guess he made that movie you know, he did some Mad Dog and Glory. He played like a mafia guy, which did not really work to me. If you want, I mean, you know, Bill Murray was like Jim Carrey or something almost, where he was like, you know, kind of more of a pure comedy actor. But somehow he became like the indie fucking darling. You know, he was in every like kind of auteur aesthetic movie. Fucking Jim Jarmusch, Sofia Coppola, Wes Anderson. He's in Wild Things. God damn. Let me check the weather real fast. Just want to make sure that it's not like some kind of emergency or some kind of weird scary thing happening. Okay. The authorization. Rain expected to stop in 15 minutes. "15 goddamn minutes." Okay. It was 98 degrees today. Fuck. Well, I guess I'll just keep talking about Wes Anderson films. I don't want to spoil my whole... I am going to sit down and, like, write the fucking thing. But I like... It's hard to choose what kind of... most important, pertinent... points to make, because to be honest, I don't really know. I haven't seen a lot of his more recent films. I haven't seen Isle of Dogs or Asteroid City or I mean, I have seen Grand Budapest. I have seen French Dispatch. I have seen Phoenician Scheme. Was there another stop motion fucking one? You know, I just feel like he casts like movie stars now. He used to have like an eye for like unusual people to put in it. Like he'd put Tony Shafrazzi in his movie or Kumar or, you know, Wally. He would just put kind of like interesting people. Whereas like now it's just like, yeah, let's get Benedict Cumberbatch and Bryan Cranston and Tom Hanks and Edward Norton and, you know, all these actors that are kind of like really not that... They're not really like that interesting looking. They just look like kind of generic movie actor people. They're not, you know, like they don't really bring anything to like the character, actually. Like when you cast Tom Hanks as like, wow, Craig Zoller, Ragged Across Country, Cell Block 99, Bone Tomahawk. Are those like action movies from the 90s or... I mean, that stuff is super aesthetic and atmospheric and effective. One of the most interesting is like places for content is like Tubi has like these Tubi originals that are like, they're like sort of like the film equivalent of like those like urban, like there's all these books that are like urban noir almost, where it's like they kind of just crank them out. You know, it's just like there's hundreds of these fucking books. Recent movies, okay. S. Craig Zoller, okay. I'll look it up. And they're kind of funny because they're outrageous. They're kind of like sex books. They're kind of like crime books. They're kind of like ghetto. Vince Vaughn and Mel Gibson. Oh, shit, okay. Vince Vaughn and Mel Gibson? Holy shit. I don't know if I can handle the testosterone. Both Vince Vaughn and Mel. Finally. I'm so glad Mel Gibson has a career again. He's sort of had this weird career in like the kind of outer crust of like entertainment, where like he's in movies. There are certain people that will work with him, but you know, he hasn't really been any kind of Braveheart level, you know, success stories really since then. Since he said those things about the tribe, God's chosen people. And, you know, they've got voicemails of him, like, ranting at his wife, and didn't he beat his wife, or... He's a real piece of work, that Mel Gibson. But now, is he one of Trump's, like, fucking Hollywood... Oh, Don Johnson. Now, anything Don Johnson is in, I will watch. Don Johnson is top-notch, if you ask me. Don Johnson's on TikTok. Don Johnson, Crockett, baddest TV cop ever, says my Uncle Bill. Crockett is the baddest TV cop ever. I mean, yeah, Don Johnson, I feel like, could do film, he could do television. I liked him on Eastbound and Down. Why doesn't Wes Anderson cast Don Johnson, for Christ's sake? Put fucking Luke Wilson in your fucking movie, Wes Anderson. How have you not put Luke Wilson in a goddamn movie since Royal Tenenbaums? That's insane to me. I guess Adrian Brody became his, like, European Luke Wilson. He had to work with, you know, Jeff Goldblum and Bob Balaban. How has he never put Wallace Shawn in a fucking movie? Wallace Shawn has never been in a fucking Wes Anderson movie? Like, how is that possible? That doesn't seem possible. Wallace Shawn was on fucking Young Sheldon. And we can't get him in a fucking Wes Anderson movie. That's crazy to me. Don Johnson. Fuck yeah. I mean, if Don Johnson's in it, count me in. Let me look it up real fast. Let me get my fucking... Okay, what is the name again? Zahar S. Craig Zoller. Let me type that shit in real fast. S. Craig Zoller. Oh yeah, I talked some shit about Ryan Gosling on Monday. I was talking about how I hated Ryan Gosling, and people really like tapped into it. People like really were like referencing what I said about fucking Bone Tom. Oh yeah, okay. I do remember seeing the poster for that. Okay. Interesting. Wow, okay. Wow, okay. Then a heavy metal band, black metal band. Bone Tomahawk, Kurt Russell, there you go. 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, a witty fusion of Western horror and comedy that gallops to its own beat, okay. The modest feature leaves Hateful Eight in the dust. It's provocative, original, extremely violent, and extremely good. Yeah, it sounds like something that like Tarantino would be into. Like real fucking movies. Like Brawl and Cell Block 99 writes a committed Vince Vaughn performance into the brutally violent and undeniably entertaining depths of prison set grindhouse genre fare. Was screened at MoMA. Was a New York Times critics pick. Dragged Across Concrete. Udo Kier. He had Udo Kier in it. I mean, there you go. Oh my God, he wrote for Fangoria. Interesting. So, did you see these on Netflix or something, or? Udo Kier, Mel Gibson, Don Johnson. Okay, what else do we need to talk about here before we sign off? Thank you for watching. Are you at work now, or? Anything? I mean, the United States is bombing at Iran. You know, it's on again, it's off again. Sounds like they're fucking around it. They were streaming at some point somewhere. Yeah, I've definitely seen that bone tomahawk. Bone tomahawk. Sounds like some real manly shit to me. Sounds like a guy's guide to being a man's man. My uncle used to always talk about Frank Vincent, the legendary Phil Leotardo. Fucking still raining. He had this book that came out. At the height of The Sopranos, like they all had fucking books. Bobby Bacala had a book. Frank Vincent had a book called A Guy's Guide to Being a Man's Man. I don't know if he could get away with that now. It's kind of gendered. If you wrote that now, it'd have to be about, like, being trans. A Guy's Guide to Being a Man's Man by RuPaul. Is RuPaul trans? I guess RuPaul's probably not trans. RuPaul's just like a drag performer. I don't know. I'm not sure how RuPaul identifies. They weren't at the Wes Anderson celebration. Is Kumar alive? Is Kumar still alive? Why the fuck wasn't Kumar there? See, that's one thing I don't... This is something I'm going to talk about in my article. How Wes Anderson disowned Bob. Whatever happened to Bob, you son of a bitch? Wes Anderson, you think you're so fancy. You think you just fucking moved to Europe and, you know, forget about your people where you came from. You're just going to forget about Kumar and... Fuck, what happened to Kumar, man? I gotta know. He's gotta be still alive. Let's see. Kumar Palana, or what's his name? Yeah, Kumar. Oh my God, he died in 2013. Jesus Christ. That's crazy. Kumar's been dead for almost 15 years? Fuck, I did not know that. Somebody should have told me. How did I not hear about that? How is that not in the fucking New York Times? Kumar died? Jesus Christ. That's huge. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to sit down. Fucking Kumar died. I can't believe it. Kumar's been dead for 15 years? Fuck. That's how old I am. I thought Kumar was just like old and retired. Jesus Christ. Okay, so let's see what happened to Kumar. Fuck. He was in The Terminal, Steven Spielberg. That's crazy, man. I mean, Wes Anderson, can you just give us a follow-up with Kumar? Can you, how did you not dedicate one of your fucking movies to Kumar or something? Somebody even more famous probably died. Yeah, probably. 2013, that was like when the world was still kind of normal. Fucking Kumar died. He didn't even die of COVID or anything. Kumar never saw Trump become president or anything. Kumar left at just the right time. Not a bad time to exit, 2013. Can't believe it, man. Poor Kumar. What the hell happened, I mean, he had a pretty good run, I guess. He was kind of old. Let's see. Yeah, he was almost 100 years old. He lived to be 95, so, I guess it's not a surprise that he died. I thought he was a little younger than that. I didn't realize fucking Kumar was 100 fucking years old. But Wes Anderson still regularly talks about how difficult it was to work with Gene Hackman. It's like Gene Hackman just died in probably one of the most horrific celebrity deaths like we've ever seen. Some kind of weird, like, what the fuck happened? Like, he got trapped, or his wife died and then he died. I don't even remember what happened. It was just horrific. Their dogs died on their fucking ranch. It was crazy what happened to Royal Tenenbaum. And they're just up there talking about what a pain in the ass Gene Hackman was. How hard he was to work with, how cranky he was. It's like, Jesus Christ, give the guy a break. He starved to death after his wife fucking had a heart attack or something. Something crazy. Poor fucking Gene Hackman. He gave us so many, countless fucking, indelible characters. Including Royal Tenenbaum. To me, that's the peak. That's the peak of the Wes Anderson. It's Rushmore and it's Royal Tenenbaums. Those are S tier. Well, S tier, I'd probably put the first 5 movies in S tier. I'd put Bottle Rocket, Tenenbaums, Rushmore, Life Aquatic. Probably those first 4 movies. Those are S tier. And then probably Darjeeling Limited is an A tier. I don't think there's any other Wes Anderson movies in A tier, to be honest. I'm not a big fan of the other stuff. Everything else is like B tier and lower, if you ask me. Those vaguely racist remarks from Royal Warren. Yeah, I remember that was a big black bear. How do you feel about that big black buck moving in over there? I mean, well, that's an aspect of Wes Anderson movies, is like they were from an era where like they were conscientious about race. Like Wes Anderson movies are sort of diverse somewhat. The fact that he had Kumar and like he had some characters like Bottle Rocket, the gang is like sort of diverse. There's an Asian guy, there's a black guy, he's in love with a Hispanic woman, like there's a worldly aspect. Like Wes Anderson is sort of an aristocrat, and he just has this kind of possessive, kind of imperialistic, adventurous kind of explorer. Wes Anderson's almost like some Arctic fucking, explorer or something. And, but at the same time, he's sort of an internationalist. You could tell he was attracted, and he left the United States. He moved. I can speak some jive like you ain't never heard. You want to talk some jive? And so, like, I think a lot of Wes Anderson's, like, early humor is, like, sort of laughing at how intense his parents were, or that generation. Like, Royal Tenenbaum, a lot of the joke is, like, he's just, like, this super old-fashioned kind of paterfamilias patriarch. He's sort of racist. He's sort of, a prick. You know, he goes out, he gambles on fucking cockfights or whatever. He gets his kids into like this kind of mischief and stuff. Like, that was sort of like when I was younger, and you're looking at your like grandpa or something, it's like that's kind of how they were. It was like this weird, they were like tough, you know, and so they'd say little things that weren't like racist per se. But Royal Tenenbaum, like, yeah, some of the shit he says, like the jokes are about, like he calls him Satchmo, or Coltrane, he calls him Coltrane. You know, which is like, I guess it's not your typical racial slur. But it's like, you know, the joke is sort of that this guy is like this old, tough, hard-ass lawyer guy. You know, the way he talks to his kids and cheats on his wife and he can't pay his hotel bills and he's just kind of, you know, he's a lowlife sort of, or I don't know, he's kind of cheating to win, or, you know, like if you look at the movies of the 70s, it's like there was more kind of hard-ass characters. I think a lot of like Bottle Rocket is like, these guys grew up in the 70s watching crime movies, watching Starsky and Hutch, like Tarantino, you know, watching fucking crime shit on TV. And so it came out in like their nerdy kind of lens. Tarantino's like writing all this shit about cheeseburgers and McDonald's. And Bottle Rocket, it's like they're nerds. They can't actually rob any. They're not real criminals. They're just like these suburban, you know, kind of losers. He's a scoundrel. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Tenenbaum is like a rogue. He's like lovable. You know, that's the other side of it. It's like, even though he's like kind of this salty or whatever old hard-ass guy, you know, who's like, you got to brew some recklessness into him. He's like, there's something like lovable, charming about him. And he's right to some degree. You know, that is sort of part of being a man, I guess, is like, you got to be tough. You got to have chutzpah. You know, this is something I've been thinking about recently, is like Hebrew or something, they have this term, chutzpah, which is like, you know, your gumption. It's how much you like put yourself out there, how much you kind of like, how much you're willing to like stick your neck out. But, you know, but also doing it intelligently and like succeeding by doing it. It's like street smarts kind of, it's like ambition kind of. But it's, you know, it's a distinctly, like, I don't know if they have this concept in like Christianity. Christianity, they're generally trying to castrate your chutzpah. They want you to be like a fucking priest or whatever, you know? You're like an altar boy. They want you to be like quiet and obedient. And Jewish culture, it's like they really teach you to have this like get up and go kind of chutzpah. And, you know, the Wes Anderson characters do kind of have that. Max Fisher kind of has that. Dignan kind of has that a little bit. You know, it's like you gotta be reckless. You kind of do gotta take chances when you're young. You know, when you can get away with that stuff. It's like I was talking about with big swings. You know, like these guys made a fucking movie by the time they were 24, 25, 26, 27. Bottle Rocket came out in 96. I think they were like 27 maybe. Like they did it. They made a fucking 90-minute movie. You can show it on TV. It's a delightful little comedy. It's got a lot of future stars in it. It's got Owen Wilson, Luke Wilson. It's got James Caan. It's got Kumar. And Wes Anderson. But I think he's like a victim of success in a way. I think he was like too successful. People bought his aesthetic too much. They believed in his aesthetic too much. And there isn't really like a mediating voice, it doesn't feel like. You know, it's just like whatever Wes Anderson's creative vision is, he's got like basically carte blanche, it seems like. And his movies are definitely unique and like they're special. They're like these, yeah, thanks for watching. I'm gonna get off pretty soon probably as well. You know, like it's good, I guess, but he's maximized his aesthetic to the point that it's like almost, I don't know, it's just too much. It's like too much sugar. It's too sweet. It's too fucking, too much of one thing. You know, he's like, you know, he wasn't really a solo artist to some degree. Him and Owen Wilson wrote those early movies together. And, you know, Owen Wilson's comedic sensibility went one way into kind of this mainstream comedy thing, where he's like the kind of ad-lib improviser star of like these like big fucking Wedding Crashers and shit. And, you know, you could tell he had, I don't know, maybe like a populist sensibility, but he also had a literary sense and a sense for like succinct, pithy, you know, like Owen Wilson's dad is like in advertising, I guess. You can kind of feel that Don Draper just like boiling it down. Isn't it funny how you used to be in the nut house, now I'm in jail? You know, like there's little lines in those Wes Anderson movies that are like poetry. They're kind of mysterious. They'll never catch me, man, because I'm fucking innocent. It's like he's lying. He's not innocent. They robbed this place. They're criminals. Like, he's not innocent. And they do catch him. But the fact that the character says this thing that's just like so baldly untrue, and you're left in the audience to just kind of like figure out what the fuck that means. Like, that's what makes it poetic. He's right in a way. You know, like they won't catch him because like they can't get rid of Dignan's innocence. You know, it's like they can't get rid of his spirit. You know, they always try to put these people in jail. You know, the dreamers. The Dignan would probably be MAGA. Dignan would probably be like some kind of crackpot. Alex Jones watching. He would have been at January 6th, probably. Come on, pole vaulting, laughing gas, hang gliding. Don't you see how incredible this is going to be? Let's go to January 6th. Let's storm the Capitol, Anthony. Come on, we'll get Bob's car. Bob will drive us there. Should I just get off? Am I done? People want to hear me keep brainstorming at Wes Anderson movies. They let Dignan out of jail and then he storms the Capitol. I don't know, what would Dignan do when he gets out of jail? He'd probably end up doing some kind of, I mean, the landscaping thing, maybe, I guess. Maybe he could have some kind of life, running a crew. You know what time it is. It's time for some dumplings. Dumpling time. I was going to do a workout show with like yoga and shit. But I just decided to talk about Wes Anderson and, well, we talked about a lot of stuff. We talked about Chicago, Seattle. What else? That movie Straight Time feels like a big influence on all those 90s. Crime, you know, like they're all kind of making crime movies. Tarantino. But like, kind of like juxtaposing, you know, like fish out of water crime or like ironic or kind of unexpected, which I guess is what Godard was doing in a way, you know, like Breathless, the guy is a thief, he's a car thief, like, it is based on some kind of fucking like crime novel or something. But it's like, so it uses that genre as like a form almost. It's like that's the structure, and it uses it to like deliver this kind of alternative content. The content is all like this shit of, you know, these people falling in love and Mozart and Bogart. And is this fucking thing plugged in or no? Oh shit. So that was working. Fuck. Bottle Rocket, I guess, is stealing it. It's like sort of a heist movie. It's a crime movie in the way that like Badlands is a crime movie almost. It's like the crime is like kind of a small part of it. And it's like these amateur people that don't really know what they're doing at all. It's more about the landscape and I don't know, this kind of romance and the friendships. You know, it's really about the friendships. I guess all Wes Anderson movies are sort of, or at least the good ones, are about the characters and how they kind of hurt each other and, you know, I mean, Tenenbaums, it's like, it's stylized the way that, you know, but you can feel those characters feeling for each other. You know, you can feel like they want to connect, they don't know how. It's like a family, they haven't been together in a while or something. You can feel like the wounds between those characters. I don't know that I got that out of those more recent Wes Anderson movies in the same way. They're not really about families or something. You know, the early Wes Anderson movies, it's like all these families. Zisu's thing is like a family. Darjeeling Limited is like a family. They're brothers. Oh my God, my life is insane. What a piece of shit. Fuck. So we got this rooftop show tomorrow in Long Island City. We'll see how the fuck it goes. I don't even know how many people I booked. I booked like a lot of people, like probably 15 fucking people. It's 4 hours, 15 people, 4 hours, what? That's 240 minutes. Divide that by 15, it's like, you know, it's like 15 minutes each. That's about right. That's about what I planned. I'm just trying to get the ball rolling on these, like, other shows, you know. But to be honest, it's like, what I'd like to do is just, now that I've been doing the clown thing, it's nice to just be on shows that you don't have to book. You know, like doing a whole fucking night where I get to book bands and poets and comedians and all this shit just so I can get 10 minutes or something. Or one set or whatever it is. It's like, it's a lot to do, you know? It's kind of nice when somebody just asks you to be on their, like we did this thing Saturday night. You know, I almost never have a gig on Saturday night. At this place, The Rose. I think it was Saturday. Yeah, it was Saturday night. This place, The Rose, which is, it's in Chelsea. It's on 25th Street in this fucking hotel. It looks like a fucking nightclub. It's like got this cool like neon lighting and shit. And it's like, there was probably 15 goddamn comedians on it. And I wasn't even asked. They asked Wynn, and she asked me. It was a comedy show. We were doing like a clown act about God. So it was real weird, compared to everything else. But it went over well. And it was just nice. It was just nice. You're on this show. It's like fucking Saturday night. The place is packed. There's 30 people. Like, it's a nightclub. There's fucking neon fucking cursive signs and shit. And, it's 9 o'clock Saturday night. It's like, that's when a fucking show is supposed to be. Not necessarily, 1 a.m. on Monday. I don't know, man. I don't know how to, allow myself to win. I'm very, self-destructive. And I'm trying, I'm trying the best that I fucking can with the amount of effort that I'm comfortable putting in or whatever. I put a lot into this. I guess maybe I do too much shit. I do music and vlogging and this for some reason. Writing a fucking essay about fucking Wes Anderson based on my live streams. Adapted from my 2-part Wes Anderson lecture series. I was trying to just copy and paste the fucking transcript of this and put it into an essay somehow, but I don't think that's going to work. I think I'm actually going to have to write the thing. Which I can do. I definitely, I was good in college at writing essays. I got, praise from my teachers. So I'm confident that I can do it. I appreciate the opportunity. So, I'm kind of using this as a space to just brainstorm, throw some ideas out, try some shit. Is there anything else I need to fucking talk about? I mean, I've already done 2 hours and 20 minutes. I mean, come on. What else? Anything? Something will come up. Just let me eat my dumplings here, and then no one's watching, so it's like a rest period. Oh my god, yeah, so I gotta figure out some way to become rich as hell. Immediately. I'm really hoping that these live streams just skyrocket in popularity. Because I think pound for pound, I am delivering the best content on the internet. I think I have the best takes. I think I have the funniest takes. I think I have the most mind-blowing takes. I think that the record proves that out. My huge audience and all of their validation and support that they give me. Their continued ongoing commitment to my tireless efforts to make content. I'll be right back. Oh yeah, I gotta take a shower. Time to take a shower. Thank you for watching, everybody. Go back and watch from the beginning. I think we covered some interesting ground here. It was a good session. Thank you, Adam S., for your contributions, as always. Friend of the show, Adam S. Pray for me. Just pray for me. You know, pray that things fucking start to go good. I mean, Jesus Christ. I'm ready to fucking break through. Become a cultural influencer. I'm ready to become a massive cultural visionary leader. All right, well, anyway, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Come to the rooftop show tomorrow. Come to Art Collective Cafe on Friday. Come to Clown Slam Friday night. Come to Poetry Festival Saturday, 5 p.m. White Horse Stage. I'll be there all day. Come Sunday, I'm reading at 4 o'clock on White Horse Stage. Come to Open Mic Monday, everybody. Thank you for watching. Those are my tour dates. And then God knows what's going to happen next week. All right. Well, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Have a wonderful